Hi guys, welcome back to Mummy Cooks Homemade. My name's Hayley and today is going to be something a little different. So today is a collaboration, but this is part one of two. So I'm collaborating with a lady called Fiona in her kitchen. She's a lovely lady from Ireland. She's married and she has 3 children, and she's a lot like me in she loves to cook traditional food. She likes to try different things, and she hopes that what she cooks can inspire other people to, sorry I'm looking through here for the recipe that I've got, to cook good wholesome food as well for their families. So what we've got, Fiona has given me a recipe to cook from Ireland. This is why I'm looking through my phone. I have no idea what I'm doing with this, but I'll do my best. And I've given her one to follow that's English. And I was so shocked when I found she had never made these before. I mean, Ireland's not that far away. I would have thought it'd be as common as it is over here, but she'd never cooked it before. So if you want to see what it is I give Fiona to cook, then please go on over to her channel. It'll be linked down in the description below. My husband will pop up a page while I'm speaking so you can have a look at a page. Please go over there, show some love. She's such a wonderful lady. And she went into this and she did hers yesterday and it turned out fab. So that's really put some pressure on me now. So what she's given me to cook from Ireland is something called bacon and cabbage. Apparently it's really popular in Ireland, so yeah. So you need, it's supposed to be, I think, either shoulder of pork, loin of pork, bacon joint sort of thing. I've got what I could get as close to it, and I've only got a small one because there's absolutely no chance my kids are going to eat this. So this is for me and my husband, and it is supposed to be Savoy cabbage, and the potatoes, you can either have potatoes cooked in the broth, or you can mash them. So yeah, it says in here to put your pork, some celery chopped, some carrots chopped, an onion peeled and halved, and some black peppercorns and bay leaves. So I've done the rest. I'm just going to grab some bay leaves and see if I can't root out my peppercorns. I know they're in here somewhere. It's a problem when you've got a cupboard full of everything. Right, so it says, this is not Fiona's recipe. This is a recipe I've looked up and I've found, and it's from We Love Donegal, which I'm assuming is in Ireland. If it's not, I'm sorry, Fiona. It says to add 12 peppercorns. I'm not going to count them. I'm just going to chuck them in. You know me, not with the counting. And my bay leaves are small, so I'm going to add 3. So I've got my carrot, celery and onion, all chopped up, ready to go. It says to put the bacon in the pan of cold water together with this, bring to the boil. Right, turn you on. I have pre-rinsed the bacon. So it says bring to the boil. You can, if you want it to be less salty, change the water out. I'm not going to. I don't mind my bacon a bit salty, so I'm not going to. Place the lid on at an angle so the pan's not entirely covered. Alright, I'm following instructions. Once it's come to the boil, turn it down to simmer, 30 minutes per pound. Well, I'm only cooking mine for an hour then, because that is small. Whilst it's cooking, in that time, you know the white scum that can appear when you boil joints of ham and stuff? Skim that off. It says here, once the cooking time is up, switch off the heat and allow the bacon joint to cool in the cooking water. This keeps the bacon joint moist. So that's what I'm going to do to start with. So this is what I'm doing, Fiona. It's probably wrong already, but this is what I'm doing. And I apologise, I'm not using a Savoy. That is supposed to be what's used from what I can gather. I am using a white cabbage. I do not like Savoy. It says to cut the cabbage into quarters and remove the core. Put the cabbage into the colander and rinse to remove any dirt. So the water that the bacon was cooked in, you need to cook the cabbage in. So I'm going to chop my cabbage up and get it ready. I do like to be prepared and all that. So I have spoken to Fiona on many occasions. She's such a lovely lady. She used to work as a primary teacher, but she now stays at home as a housewife, which I think is absolutely fabulous. There's not many people do that anymore, and it's such a shame. Right, taking the core out. So yeah, I've had many conversations with Fiona. Couldn't wish to meet anyone nicer. So I'm hoping you guys go over. Once you've watched mine, of course. Don't desert me, guys. Right. I've cut it into 3 lots. That's how I'm going to do it, because I don't want it to cook and get mushy, so I've done it into 3. And that was a quarter, because as I say, there's just me and my husband eating this. We're not going to have mash. I'm going to boil up some potatoes, peel the skin off these. I'm going to boil up some potatoes for us. And Fiona says that they enjoy theirs with some parsley sauce, so that's what I'm going to make. I have to admit, when I first saw the recipe, I was a bit, oh my lord, is that all that goes into it, sort of thing? And from what Fiona said, her husband was like, oh, when he seen what it was Fiona was to cook, because they'd never had it before, which shocked me. So yeah, there was a bit of mixed feelings there. Right, 1 more potato should do it. I didn't want to take the recipe from Fiona. I wanted to see how well I could do it myself, sort of thing, if it turned out any good. I've cut these potatoes a little bit smaller because, like I say, we're going to have this at dinner, so yeah, that's plenty of potatoes for us too. Like I say, I've got that in the pan. I've got some potatoes here and some cabbage. And I'm going to pop them up there out the way, actually. It'll take a while to come to the boil with this. So what I'll do is, I'll bring you back. I actually think, you know, what I might do is rather than wait until the bacon's fully cooked, I might put my potatoes and cabbage in, scoop out the vegetables once they've done their business with the stock, and put the potatoes and cabbage in before the bacon's finished. That way it'll cut down on cooking time then. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So I'll bring you back when I get to that part. Okay? So, I've had this cooking now for about 45 minutes in total. Like I said, that meat wasn't overly big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop everything out because this has done its job. It's flavoured the water, made a nice broth hopefully. So I'll take these out. I'm not going to be eating these. Hopefully it's flavoured the broth because that's what's going to flavour the potatoes and the cabbage. So I bet you Fiona's watching this and she's like, oh, I don't want to make it like that. Right, that's all out. So I'm going to throw that. So now what I'm going to do, I've washed my potatoes. So I'm going to pop them in. The plan is to have the boiled potatoes. If I take them too far, I'm having mash. Oh, ow. Put them in. And as I say, I've got white cabbage and I've cut it into sections. Don't do what I just did and shove your entire finger in. I'm leaving my meat in for a little bit longer. Lid back on. Then I'm going to put a timer on for 15 minutes. So, I need to move this one. Oh God! Heavy. So, I want another pan, because apparently you have a bit of parsley sauce with this. I don't sound too thrilled, as you can tell. Not a massive fan of parsley sauce, to be perfectly honest. So you're going to make a white sauce. like you do if you do lasagna or fish pie or anything. You just get out my shizzle, salt and pepper. I am putting salt in that because I do believe that parsley sauce does need all the help it can get. Doing any particular measurements, I just want enough sauce for me and the hubs. So in goes the butter. The heat back on. Just check you can see what I'm doing. Yeah. Right, so I'm going to use some milk, obviously, but I would also like to use some of the broth. The basic white sauce is easy. Chuck in some plain flour. Make sure you get right into the edges of your pan. Need to cook out your flour for a minute or two. I had loads of crushed parsley yesterday and threw it. I should have held on to it really. Never even occurred to me. Right, first I'm going to add a ladle full of this broth out of this pan. As you can see, it makes an emulsion in the bottom of your pan. Have to be careful because usually I make a huge quantity if I make a fish pie or lasagna. I have to remember it's just for me and other half. Some more milk. I would much prefer to melt some cheese in here to give it a bit more flavour, but that's not what the recipe calls for, so I'll have to behave for today. I'm going to change that for a wooden spoon because it's making a racket. And I've already got the lumps out anyway, so that's better. So I'm going to use a little bit more of this stock. And I'm going to throw in quite a lot of parsley. Black pepper. And I'm just going to hold off on the salt because there's salt in that stock. I'm just going to wait and taste this when it's done. So that's what we have at the minute. Parsley sauce. Remember, any sauce you make does, as it cools down, it does tend to thicken up a little bit more. Never made such a small amount of parsley sauce in all my life. So, I'm just going to turn the heat up on this a little bit. Got to say, this is well out of my comfort zone, following a recipe, because usually even if I do find a recipe that I like, I change at least half of it to suit my tastes and what I like and the kids like. I'll not mention the husband because he just eats whatever he's given, he's not bothered. Right guys, I can only apologise. I have no idea that it was all steamed up. So, in case you missed me making the parsley sauce, I have no idea because I'm still running the camera. This is the parsley sauce all done and ready. Simple parsley sauce, butter, flour. I used some of the stock out of that pan milk, black pepper, salt and parsley, and that was it. And I only made a small amount. Yeah, I apologise for wherever my husband's going to have to cut this, because he will have to now. I won't be cooking my cabbage until it's super soft. I like a bit of crunch in it, which is why I don't like Savoy. It's one of the reasons I don't like Savoy and why I like white. But what I am going to do is, if I can find something, I'm going to pull out this bacon. Can you still see? Are you fagged up yet? In the screen. There we go. So, that's the bacon out. I'll leave it out now, leave it to cool a little bit. Like I say, I've already done this. So the next thing for me to show you really is when it comes to plating it up, and I will show you that. So I'll turn you off for now and I'll bring you back when I plate it up. Right guys, so let me just adjust the camera, there we go. I'm going to dish this up. I have, like I said, absolutely no idea if this was the right way to do this. So, peppercorn, no thank you. Right, so I've got a chunk of cabbage here. Some potatoes on my husband's. Peppercorn. Chunk of cabbage on his. Have some more cabbage because I do like cabbage. And it's not soggy either, it's just right. I've still got no clue whether I've done this right or not. I think so, I'm not sure. Put on the bacon. Some parsley sauce. So, that's my take on the Irish bacon and cabbage. I guess Fiona and Maxine knows Irish as well, so I guess they'll tell me whether that's right or not. I have no idea. Let me turn the thing around, make sure I'm not steamed up again. That's it. So there we have. So, I'll give this a try. It lets me burn me gob. That potato tastes of the vegetables that I added into here and a little bit of the peppercorn. Let's try this. See, I never just boil mine. If I cook gammon and bacon, whatever, see, that's nice as well. I usually boil mine, then bake it with some honey and brown sugar. But that is nice. Lastly, the cabbage. And it's still got a bit of bite in that. I can tell when I'm cutting it, so that's good. I've got to say, Fee, I was a bit nervous making this and trying it, but it's not bad at all. I thought it'd be really bland, and it's not. You've got the taste, especially if you do the parsley sauce. I've added quite a lot of pepper into mine, and that's flavouring everything if you use it. So yeah, so that's part one done. Hopefully anybody that is Irish that makes this will tell me whether I've done it right or wrong, or where I could have improved on or anything like that. So yeah, don't forget to go check out Fiona. Her channel will be linked below, and see what meal I set for Fiona to make. And don't forget, there will be a part 2 to this, and what we will be doing is flipping them round. I will be making the meal that she's making, well, made yesterday, and she will be showing me how this is meant to be made. or her version of it. So that'll be part 2. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Make sure it's always turned on. And let me know what you think down below. Bye.